Ladies and gentlemen, we will begin this concert the way every Cowboy band concert begins. Please stand and remove cover as the band plays our national anthem, followed by the Kansas State song, Home on the Range. Ladies and gentlemen, the Dodge City Cowboy Band with Along the Santa Fe Trail. bases. It served in this capacity throughout World War II until 1945 when it was deactivated. The site served as the Dodge City Airport until the late 1950s. Next up, we salute this military history with a march entitled Military Escort, composed by Henry Fillmore using his pseudonym Harold Bennett. Military Escort is generally regarded as one of the very best easy marches ever written. John Philip Sousa was reported to have told Fillmore, "Well, I wish that march had my name on it." love Cowboys. Without them, the cattle drives from Texas would not have happened. And without the cattle drives, maybe not a Dodge City. In 1972, a movie titled The Cowboys premiered starring John Wayne, along with a host of other great Western movie actors. When his ranch hands abandoned him to join the gold rush, aging rancher Will Anderson, played by John Wayne, is forced to find replacement drovers for his 400-mile-long cattle drive. When regular cowboys were not available, Anderson ends up reluctantly hiring a group of schoolboys, and with training from Anderson, the boys learn to rope, brand, and herd cattle and horses. It's classic John Wayne, but it also includes a classic John Williams score. The band now presents the Cowboys. See if I can get my right good impression now. Now, come on, man. You're burning in daylight. deputy. While the operetta never came to be, this march survived and is so named in honor of that great bell in Philadelphia. The march has been played at the inaugurations of 4 of the last 5 presidents, including Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, Barack Obama, and Donald Trump. The ship's bell from the SS John Philip Sousa, a World War II Liberty ship, is housed at the Marine Barracks in Washington, D.C., and is used by the President's own United States Marine Band in select performances of the march. Tonight, we have our own version of the Liberty Bell, sounded Cowboy Band President Jacob Miller. Here's the band with the Liberty Bell. Strike Up the Band. This summer, the band played this next number, Strike Up the Band, at concerts, parades, and the Longhorn Cattle Drive. This number was written for a 1927 musical written by George and Ira Gershwin by the same title. Interestingly, this satirical musical was about a cheese manufacturer who sponsors a war with Switzerland. Let's hope that our new cheese manufacturer, Fillmore Cheese, here in Dodge City, is not so inclined. While the musical itself was not successful, this tune became quite well known and was used by Judy Garland and Mickey Rooney in their 1940 movie. So, with the title tune from the musical and the movie, here's the band with Strike Up the Band. The band marches to his resting place in the Congregational Cemetery to play a concert at his grave. And this year in April, the band celebrated their founder, Chocolate Easton, on his birthday with a concert at his resting place in Maple Grove Cemetery. Sousa wrote the next March, Washington Post, in 1889, when new owners of the newspaper requested he compose a march for the newspaper's essay contest awards ceremony. Sousa obliged, and the Washington Post March was introduced at a ceremony on June 15, 1889, with President Benjamin Harrison in attendance before a huge crowd on the grounds of the Smithsonian Museum. Ladies and gentlemen, Washington Post. Tennessee is shared of car dealerships like McCoy Skaggs, Major Pontiac Cadillac, Frank F. Motors, and Hamilton Bell's REO dealership. Next up is the Klaxon March, which celebrates the automobile and was written for the 1930 Cincinnati Automobile Show. This march has become a standard in band repertoires. The composer even invented an instrument made up of car horns for the car show premiere. And while that instrument didn't survive, the march was a huge success and continues to delight audiences everywhere. Folks, the Klaxon. and Hoover. In 1872, he drove his wagon 5 miles to the edge of the reservation at Fort Dodge and set up shop at 8 o'clock in the morning on June 17, 1872, about halfway between Dodge City's present 1st and 2nd Avenues, just south of the railroad grading stakes. In addition to opening the first business in Dodge City, he later served as mayor, city councilman, county commissioner, and representative to the Kansas legislature. He also opened the first bank in Dodge City, the State Bank of Dodge City, which later merged with Kansas State Bank to become what we know today as Fidelity State Bank. Hoover said that he made his money in Dodge City and he would leave it here. He bequeathed a trust of $100,000 to the city, the interest to be used for the beautification of the city and the cemetery. He left $1,000 to each of the 6 churches and a sum of $10,000 to build a city meeting place in Wright Park, which today we know as Hoover Pavilion. So, in honor of Mr. Hoover, the band will perform a march, His Honor. This classic Henry Fillmore march is considered one of his finest. His Honor is one of Fillmore's fast and fun circus-style marches, containing this classic, whimsical look at the world. Since its premiere in 1933, it has become one of Fillmore's most popular marches. Ladies and gentlemen, His Honor. The Long Branch Variety Show opened earlier last year, actually, for its 65th consecutive season here at Boot Hill Museum. This year is obviously 66. Now that's an accomplishment that we are very proud of. The show originally started as a special event for the opening weekend on Front Street Replica on July 4th, 1958, and played in the Long Branch Saloon for 62 summers. It was moved outdoors in 2020 for COVID, and after that, for 2 years, it was presented in the Mariah Gallery in the new building. This summer, we are excited to have this brand new performance space here in the Great Western Hotel building. It is reminiscent of the Long Branch with a curved front, corner stage, and bar down the side. So the Cowboy Band is going to finish out this concert with a song from the Long Branch Variety Show that dates back to 1958. Written by Rosemary, Down at the Long Branch Saloon is a saloon tradition. And if you know the words, sing along. I could use the help. Bang, bang, boom, boom, smoke fill the room, down at the Long Branch Saloon.